Can you tell me the name of this person?
Is this thing on? Yeah. Okay. There you go. The words of Chibs from Sons of Anarchy. Sweet mother of Christ, I leave you all alone for 3 minutes and it all goes to hell.
I love Chip.
Well, yeah, I love everybody. If you like the show, you love Chibs. It was just Chibs was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Here we are Thursday, and I got to mention this. I want to say hi to a young lady that apparently watches the show. I was going through the other night in a drive-through to get some bad habit, and asked if I knew what the show was going to be about tonight, and I was like, and this is true. A lot of times, Stace and I, we have no clue until it gets to be the night of the show. We're guided, we're led, whatever you want to call it. And then I was actually in a store grocery shopping. Somebody said, have you ever made contact? Okay, first off, I have never made contact with anybody other than Kentucky State Police, Floyd County Sheriff's deputies, Prestonsburg, Paintsville, Pikeville Police, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. FBI a time or two, talking about, the Bardstown, what I call the Bardstown Five, um, things like that. I have never, though, that stays. I'm the true crime guy. I'm the guy that kind of, keeps a finger on the pulse of that. Stacy handles all of that because she's gifted with that. I can tell you the big thing I wanted to talk about this evening is a story that we've already had on the air. I think John ran it, and I'll be addressing it tomorrow as well. But this was something that just really kind of made my skin crawl. It was a guy out of Martin County pleaded guilty to child porn charges after admitting to coercing teens to send him explicit videos and pictures. Now, what is coercing all about? Well, that's when you talk somebody into doing something that they normally wouldn't have anything to do with it, or they wouldn't want to do this. But this guy's named Dustin Newsom. He's 35 of DeBoard, and he pleaded guilty Monday to one count of compelling minors to engage in sexually explicit conduct or child porn. And guess how he got them to do this? Through THC vape cartridges, cell phones, and this all got started when a parent found a THC vape cartridge in her son's room. And when he was questioned, he finally opened up. And of course, there was alcohol, other items of value, including video game currency. So here's my little spiel kick for tonight. Parents, keep an eye on everything they do. Here's the thing. When I was 16, I thought I had all the friggin' answers. I thought I knew everything. I thought, well, I know what I'm doing. I'm a grown up. I wasn't grown up until the first time I held my kid, and I was 30. I had no idea. I thought the whole damn world was about me. Guess what? It ain't. All right. And they will hide things from you, even though you think, oh, they're wonderful, they're great. They'd never get involved with this or they'd never get involved with that. I hope that's true. But so many times they're already involved and but now they are masters at keeping it on the DL, on the down low. Okay. They will do whatever it takes to make sure it doesn't find its way back to mom and dad. Just go into this with the assumption they're doing something. I just hope it ain't nothing that bad because there are sick, perverted people in this world that would think, people that are my age, okay, that would think, oh, well, she's hot and her being 15 or 16 or 14 or something like that. Okay, my idea of a younger woman is like 35, 40. That's my idea. Anything much below that, and I'm sitting there thinking, what the hell would we even talk about? But there are people out there that will take advantage of kids because, like I said, their minds are still developing. And hell, even at 40, you're still learning things. At 50, you're still learning things. I think we learn things up until the day we're no longer breathing. But I cannot tell you how many stories I've done on this for the radio station and for the podcasting that involved adult individuals taking advantage of kids. Because like I said, a lot of these kids are vulnerable. And sometimes it comes across like when you're not really a big part of their life like this, sometimes it comes across like the parent doesn't care. That's the worst damn thing you can do. And you wonder why there's 20-year-olds out here into drugs and into whatever, and they're, um, giving it up on a whim to the first guy that comes along or the first girl that comes along, whoever it may be, whatever it may be. Instill a sense of worth in them. Now, did I have times out of my kid? Yeah, I did. But she knew I was in her life and she knew I cared. And she knew that daddy will rock that friggin' orange jumpsuit for somebody, for her. And I mean, I will get all over them like a boar hog on a corn cob. Any parent would. Right there, right across from me right now, sits one. Stace, Lloyd, either one of them would for their kids. Either one of them. I mean, Lloyd, when he started this show, he had a full head of hair. When I started as a dad, I was 6'2". We see what that happened there.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
That really didn't go the way I planned it, but that's okay. But my child recently left her job in the hospital for a better paying and more lucrative position with a company. And I'm not going to say what that company is, but she has improved her situation. And I cannot tell you how proud I am of her. It does my heart good. And it wasn't just about the money for her. It was also about something that she wanted to do in a way that she wanted to do it. And I thought, well, okay then. Because I did teach her life's not all about money. I cannot tell you how many people I know that make a great living financially, but they're friggin' miserable because they hate what they do. Money is not everything. Do you have to have it to pay bills? Yeah. Do I make a good living? Yeah. But I'm blessed. I love what I do for Q95 FM. I love what I do. I love creating commercials, creating content, creating news, talking to you guys on the air in the morning. And I love doing this. I love Stace. I love Lloyd. I love working with them. And I love, there's nothing that makes me feel any better in the world than when somebody, and I hope she don't mind me using her name, but Mary that texted me the other day and said that this show gave her hope. It does a lot of people, I think. And if we're not doing that for at least one person, then why in the hell am I doing it anyway? But if it does that for one person, okay. Look, there's things that Stace and I could be doing tonight. We're here. Okay. Um, Trust me, there's always something I could be doing for the station. But we're here, and we're here because we hope to give hope, and we love you guys. Speaking of which, I want to know, and I'm sorry I did not get to put your name because I just literally got it come across in email right before we hit the go live button tonight. But Paul Butcher is a brand new Patreon member, apparently joined today. So, Paul, thank you so much. And we're going to put your name up in lights, brother. I'm going to have your name all over the place next week. But it's support from the Patreon people that keep this thing really, I mean, that makes it affordable for us to do. Because this little platform right here that you're watching this on and all this stuff, I mean, I've got the best internet, the highest speed that I can possibly get through the company I've got. And let me tell you, they're not cheap. Okay, they're like one of them hookers you got to save up for. Not that I would know anything about that. But with that being said, it's one of those things where you guys have enough faith in us to invest some money and invest the word and tell people about it. So we thank you for that. So let's get to some chat room talk real quick. And then after that, we get started with the show. Sinuses are getting a little better. As you can hear, my voice is starting to come back. But I still got that little bit of a so we want to say hi tonight. Oh, there's my girl, Kim Underwood Bradley. She's just a sweetheart. I love her to death. That's Stace's sister. And let's see if I should miss somebody. Sorry about that, but we go through Helen Prater, of course, Kayla Tanksley, Sandra Goforth. It's always good to see you, Sandy. Cecil Hunter. Um, and let's see. I mean, there's Tina. Tina is in there tonight, and of course,
Madonna.
Madonna. Yeah, my nickname for her is Madge, so it's
Madge.
Madge. Yeah,
She's
Jessica.
my Madonna, so that's what I call her, my Madonna.
Yeah, Jessica, who is just an absolute sweetheart. James Paul Prim. James Paul, bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? I'm not even going to try to do the Martin Lawrence thing. It sounds horrible. Genevieve Williams, and of course, let's see here. The list goes on, and we've got a lot of people in there, so we really say thanks a lot. Oh, Carrie Bella Blevins. I think I mentioned Helen Prater. Angie Chapman. Deanna Allen. Vanita Hinkle. Lloyd Gullett, of course. Crystal Shepard. Shannon Roland Van Hoos. It seems like the list gets a little bit longer every week. So, we want to say hi to everybody that's in the chat room tonight. And if you're not already in there, go ahead and jump on in, dive in, be a part of the chat. That doesn't cost you nothing. It's we love it when people are interactive with us. We really do. So, chat away as we're talking. So, tell me what's been going on with you this week, honey.
Us? Well, I've been down for a couple of days with the blood pressure's fluctuating. I mean, so other than that,
well, you're married to Lloyd, so yeah.
I was gonna say, I mean, I'm sure you understand, the
Bobby
reasons behind it.
Bobby Dixon asked if Lloyd was a scaredy cat tonight.
Absolutely, you missed it a couple of shows ago when one of the daggone dolls moved, and he
was like a dog pissing peach seeds.
He was out like that, and he was done with me for a few days.
Oh yeah, he was I mean, I am making fun of him. It was bad. It really was. It was pretty bad. So, I mean, he just went. Debbie and Crystal, a big hey to you guys too for coming in. Sheila, and of course, we mentioned him, Bob Dixon. I've known Bob for years and just love him. He's a great guy.
He's one of my best friends ever.
Yeah, I mean, I got to know him when I was working really close with a guy who would become my mentor in radio and in life, Paul Fife. Learned so much from him and made a lot of great friends through Paul, and Bob's one of them. And Bob is just a great guy. Love him dearly. So you had you and I talked briefly before we went on live. you've got the new bank ready. Oh, I got to say hi to Linda Lawson.
There she
And
is.
yeah,
Linda.
there she is. And there's Robin. And we go on. This new program is whatever. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate you, sweetheart. And Tina, any more talk about a booth at Jenny Wiley Days? I had not even. It would be possible, I guess, because Jenny Wiley Days is the second weekend in October. It's after Apple Days.
After Apple Day. Gotcha.
And if I was going to set up a booth this year, it would be at Jenny Wiley. And the reason why is, to be honest with you, though, I don't, we wouldn't be up there to try to sell anything necessarily. Once we get everything on track the way I want it, which is ongoing, then we would be up there and we'd probably sell shirts and stuff like that to help with a cause. Now, we are looking at doing a meet and greet maybe in Paintsville come some of the colder months, but that would be to benefit a food pantry to help needy families. Because let me tell you, again, this goes back to my mom. What God gives you is a blessing, and what you do with it is a blessing back to him. It's a way of saying thank you back to God. And I know that there's families in our backyard, our region being southeastern Kentucky and southern West Virginia, Tennessee, Ohio, that where there are families that don't do Thanksgiving because they can't afford a turkey. I'll be damned. If I knew about it, I'll go out and buy a turkey for them. I'd do whatever I could, because I think everybody and every child has the right to a holiday, has the right to Christmas. And I don't say happy holidays. It's Merry Christmas. And it's Happy New Year and it's Happy Thanksgiving. Turkey Day, I can deal with that too. That's fine. But you get my point. So if we did something like that, and don't get me wrong, we'll put on a show. I mean, we will not only go live from where we're at, but it's one of those things where we would come in and we would meet with people, do an open audience Q&A, because there's nothing that we do here that's off. Everything that you see is real. It happens. Stace has got no control over what is said, what comes through, who comes through. And so many of you guys have had experiences. Mary had texted me the other day with an experience. Apparently last week, it had come through and said someone was going to pass away. And I'm wanting to say it was like Razor or something like that. But at any rate, it did happen, she told me. It happened, I think, maybe this week, that individual had passed away in peace. And these people that come through, these spirits, they know things that we don't. I can't explain it, and I don't even try to explain it. But as far as setting up a booth, advertising for the show is what Tina said, and I don't think that is a bad thing. And if we don't do it this year, it's entirely possible that we would do Apple Day next year as well as Jenny Wiley Festival, because I can get us a tent set up, and we can have LLoyd come down there and run the thing. He's quality entertainment, and he's cheap. All I got to do is feed him a couple of times a day. Maybe rub his little bald head and pat him on the back. Say, go ahead.
I had a flashback to the old Benny Hill we used to watch when we were kids.
God, I love that. I hadn't thought of that in years. He'd tap that little guy.
He'd always tap him on the head. Oh
my God. I love that. But yeah, you see Stace and I down there too, obviously, because it's our, it's your show. It's our show. And Tina, that is a really good idea the more I think about it. Everybody keeps telling me if more people knew about this and if they saw this thing, they'd go off the deep end. Look, this is completely unscripted, except what I just read to you about the male guy that had the thing, the sick and twisted. That was scripted right off the news for tomorrow morning. What I was reading to you, because I can't remember the guy's name. But that is not a bad idea, Stace. But I'd want to do it right. Get us a tent, and I'd want us to down there. Yeah, and we can go live. There's this thing that I'm trying to get implemented into Q95 FM, It's called IPDTL. It's Internet Protocol down the line. And, the same quality that you're hearing right now, you know how a lot of times you can hear live broadcast on radio and they sound like they're on a phone. This would sound like this right here. It would sound like we're right there in the room with you. That's the only way that we'd go live, because I don't want to sound like I'm on a phone. I want us to sound like we're right there with you guys, because in essence we are. And anyways, I think that this would, I think that, honestly, I think Tina's got a great idea. I do. And I think the people that want to see that happen, I think that would be pretty awesome too. And, if we go live from Apple Day, or if we go live from Jenny Wiley Festival, who's to say we can't go live at other places?
Yeah.
And you know exactly what I'm talking about. I know Stace does, because we've talked about doing it before. It would be so cool to broadcast live and watch her actually do what she does. It'll put chills on you. I've watched it happen. It's something takes over, and I don't know what or who, but when she goes to work, you're sitting there thinking, holy shit. It really, really, it's something to see. Have the boxes, and I know that you've worked on the new sound bank.
Mm-hmm.
Have they been very active tonight, or what's the scoop?
It's been nonstop since we started. It was a little quiet until we started, and then it's just been going crazy.
How do they know? Come on, Chris. Yeah. Go live through a drive-through, or a drive-through is what Madonna said.
Yeah.
A drive-through. Yeah, that could happen. We've got the technologies there. Look, I mean, I work in radio remotely from home. What you hear on the air in the mornings, if you listen, whether it's news, weather, whatever, commercials, it's all done from this studio right here. It's all done from right here. John came over a few days ago. And John and I have gotten to be really good friends. John Scarberry. He's the voice you hear on a lot of commercials and afternoon news and things like that. And he come over and he looked, and he said, "Hail." I said, "Man, you got the setup here." And I said, "It is a blessing." When I set this up, it was to do audio books and things like that. And I've done 40 that have been heard all over the world, by a little bit over, I guess, 43, 44 from here. The podcast, The Mountain Mysteries, because of God. I've done things that have been heard all over the world out of this little studio. If you want to make him laugh, tell him about your plan. He'll smile at you. Yeah. So with that being said, London serial killer, think he's dead? Angie asked that question. Angie Chapman. What's your opinion of the London serial killer? I think he's dead. Now, if I'm understanding, Angie, you're asking about the guy that opened fire on Interstate 75 that they've still not found yet, because there's been 2 or 3, and they did bring one into custody, or I think it was around London somewhere. But this guy has been out there on the loose for quite a while, and gotta hand it to our truckers, man. There was a school bus going down the road when all this shit broke loose.
Oh,
these
Lord.
18-wheeled tractor trailer, these old boys that get shit from point A to point B, formed a barrier around them school buses so that shooter couldn't hit those kids.
That's the heroes.
Guys, heroes.
I wish I knew their names.
Lay down on those horns, and while you're at it, I want you to take one of those horns off when they catch this guy. I want you to shine it up real nice and pretty, cock that sumbitch sideways, and stick it straight up his candy ass. This had been planned.
Pineapple.
This had been planned. Pineapple. Yeah, exactly.
With Hitler.
Yeah. No. Are you serious? Yeah. We will answer the question. We will ask the questions.
We can't go in the store with that one by the pineapples, because I made Caden.
Oh God, I love that.
Shout out to Caden and River tonight.
Who is it? To shout out to Caden and River.
Caden and River.
Okay, Caden and River. Big shout out to you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's his favorite thing there when we go by the pineapples. Because I made him watch Little Nicky, and
Are you serious?
Hitler gets the pineapple up the butt every day in hell.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
That was
yeah.
perfect.
Well, they're coming out with a sequel too to I think it was Billy Madison, if I'm not
Oh, yeah.
mistaken. Or it's not Billy Madison, it's Happy Gilmore. Yeah, the guy that played Shooter McGavin's in it, and Adam Sandler's love interest is returning. It's going to be great. I loved
Oh,
Happy
wow.
Gilmore. I loved Happy Gilmore.
Yes.
I loved all of those Adam Sandler films.
Me too.
Little Nicky, though, was one of my favorites.
Me too.
Quentin Tarantino, you make the Lord very nervous. I loved it. That's Quentin Tarantino, for Pete's sakes. I mean, he's freaking brilliant. I loved him. So but yeah. We got to take breaks every once in a while because some of the stuff that we talk about on here is serious. I mean, it gets to be pretty hardcore stuff. You're dealing with people's emotions. And when you lose somebody you love, you think there's no way out of this hole, but God, He is the way out. But sometimes different things. That's why people are meant to be. We are not designed to be isolated and alone. We're just not.
No.
We all got to have somebody. And I love trying to be that somebody for some of y'all. Sometimes we can, sometimes I know we can't. But I promise you there is somebody out there for everybody that will help them through these times. So the box has been pretty active tonight. And we've talked about the fact that Happy Gilmore is going to have a sequel. And we've talked about
that.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be next year that it comes out, maybe. So I'm hoping, anyways, that tonight maybe we'll answer some questions for people. Maybe some people will get the answers that they're looking for, or at least some form of peace. Sharon Barron and I had once talked, April's mom, and she said quite possibly the word that makes her the sickest and most overused is closure. There really is no closure. And justice is another one. When it comes to a murder victim, in my opinion, I'm thinking carefully before I say this, but if you kill somebody for and it's not in defense of your family, I don't know that there is justice out there. I don't know that the only way that you could say that would be, well, they need their life taken too. When does the escalation stop? I mean, I say that, and then I'd probably be the first one to jump in line and throw the switch, hit the plunger, pull the trigger, whatever. If it was somebody I loved and cared about. But I guess I have to go back to what my Lord said, that vengeance belongs to the Father. Vengeance is His. But let me tell you something. Being a human being, it sure doesn't make it any easier. And then there's the people out there who have folks that are missing. That there's no answer there. Yeah, I'd heard about that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You can ask Stace. That's fine, baby. But
I think it'd be wonderful.
I think it would be great to have that. I do. I really do. She mentioned it to me too.
I'm sure she wouldn't mind for us talking about it.
No, I don't think that Sharon would. They are looking at putting and this is through all the efforts of Sharon, but they're looking at putting a memorial plaque out at Paintsville Lake for April. And I am all for that. She didn't leave us too early. She was taken from us. She was, just like any murder victim. Yep, purgatory. Catholics call it purgatory. I think everybody's got a different name for something.
I just read some notes. It's talking about April real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if everybody in that's with us right now knows the whole story about April or saw anything that we've done on it in the past, but we recently read some notes that an employee at the lake wrote, and he said when he arrived there at 12 to do the night shift, within 15-20 minutes he heard 3 gunshots. One of the gunshots actually took out one of the lights out there. So he went to go check to see where all this was going from. And when he got over there to that area where she was supposedly pulled out of the water, that there was a truck pulled in the grass, and it seen him, I guess, and about that time it just took off like a bat out of hell.
Mm-hmm.
So he interviewed the other guy standing out there. But how weird is that we've never heard about the same time all this happened, there were 3 gunshots fired over there.
Heard about it.
How weird is that?
That's the first I've heard about it.
Wow, somebody has a gun out there? You don't say. Also, there's another girl. Supposedly there's only 2 girls out there, and there's another girl that, an eyewitness said was out there as well. I mean, we don't know who it was. We don't know anything about anything because everything was given to the authorities, and
the investigation was a hot friggin' mess.
There you go.
I mean, it was like a class 3 porn movie mess. It was all over the place. No, I'm gonna be honest, Stace. That kind of
how eerie is this, guys? We're just now hearing this. We're just now finding this out. Reading the employee notes. That 34 years later. Then that makes the time off because they said she passed away at like somewhere around 12:30. Well, no, it was a little later than that.
Yeah,
because he wrote the times on all his notes that he logged in. So.
If you look in the chat, Mary Ray said that she just wanted to let everyone know that the spirits last week gave her comfort. She was the one I was talking about.
I'm so happy for you, Mary. That's what I do this for.
Let me tell you something. I don't give a rat's ass how much money you're making. Nothing can buy peace.
No.
Nothing. And, when I'd lost mom and dad, I was inconsolable until I hit my knees and I asked God for his peace. And I'm telling you, that's my left hand, right hand raised to God. It washed over me. The tears dried up, and I was like, and it was like somebody, and it's not a thing I heard, it's a thing I felt, saying they are okay. They're with me. They're okay. If you're going back, I don't know, 30 years, 20, I broke 6 of the 10 commandments every day before lunch. And I'm not proud to say that now, but it's true. But God is the only way. And now here I am, 53. And this isn't about realizing my own mortality. I always knew that someday I was going to die. Matter of fact, I've got it planned out. I'm going to put a little recording device in my urn, and I'm going to be speaking from inside the urn saying, y'all let me out of here. It's dark. I'm just kidding, because here's the kicker. Death isn't the end, and I know that. God tells us it's not. Jesus told us it's not. Jesus told us the only way through the Father, or to the Father, was through him. And I 100% believe it. I don't just believe it, I know it. Okay? But I also know that this life goes on, and where we wind up going depends greatly upon who we elect to follow. Thank you, Mr. Warren. Very true, though. That's nothing I'm rushing, but it's nothing that has got me scared out of my mind either. Peace of mind comes with a feeling of relief and gratitude. Yes, it does, Kayla. It does. And Ralph Jenna Frazier, amen. God's the only way. Agreed. 100% agreed. We have a tendency to make a mess out of things when we lean on our own understanding because we don't get it. Our minds can't. We cannot wrap our minds around what the big picture is. Only God can do that. And that's where we got to have faith in him. We step out on that faith, say, okay, God, what do you need me to do? What's my part in all this? And then we do it to the best that we can. And I think that you can say it's because I've got a face for radio, that I belong behind a microphone. I've tried other things. I was decent at best at them, but I seem to excel here. I do this. I heard of someone having a voicemail sent from the person who passed away saying, thanks for going to my funeral. That would be me. I would do something. I'd be like, people would be like, what the hell? Really? I'd be like, "Hey, yo, dog, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Why didn't you bring some beer?" So it's. Are those the notes that you just sent me, babe?
I just sent them to you.
Okay, I will look over these.
Okay.
I think maybe we need to do an updated episode on this.
Yeah, I mean, there's some.
Well,
some
I
crazy
keep saying that
stuff.
the podcast is coming back. Stace, I don't know that this hasn't replaced the podcast.
Yeah.
Because people that listened to it, and yeah, we can start putting this on Spotify again as video and audio, but I'm thinking that this has kind of replaced that. Look, I get people like the audio, but man, people love video. How else do you explain the popularity of reels, whatever those things are called, and these video podcasts? Seth Amberg, I was honored to be on his show, Seth's daily podcast. I guess that was last week, and we was talking about the gatherings, and we was talking about Q95 and the radio thing and all that stuff, and that's when I had that hit me. I was like, has the gatherings replaced what is going on with the Mountain Mysteries audio podcast? And I would dare say yes. Now, that thing had people in 80 some countries listening to it. Is that to say that we'll never do another audio episode? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this feels like it's right. And it's because it stays. I've got her to bounce off of. And of course, LLoyd is there. And I suppose that he's been spending this last week making wedding arrangements with Reagan. And no, you see him. So apparently they've got this whole thing going on.
I think we should get her out and sit her in between us.
I think we should not.
See what we can get tonight.
It would get him too excited. He'd probably run out of the room. Genevieve said that the FBI has been in Nelson County this week looking for Crystal's remains. Crystal Rogers. Yeah, they are going to find her. This isn't something that's going away, and I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for this because I think that whoever killed her, they need to go up the river.
Mm-hmm.
They need to go up the river.
Yeah.
I like to see justice for it, but just like with anybody else, I'd want to see it done right. I don't want a false accusation leading to somebody spending time in prison that didn't need to be there while the person who did needs to be there is out there walking around free. That's a big thing for me. That's really big for me. So with that being said, we'll open up the floor tonight, of course. Guys, if you got somebody that you want to have come through and talk or mention you, there's no guarantee they will. But I can tell you a way to help them do it is to be thinking about them. Think of memory.
Yes.
Good memory. Think of the time that they made you laugh or something y'all did together that was goofy. Something that helps. For me, I have a million of those with Trev. Have a bunch of them with Ollie. Had a bunch with Dad, and I have really had those moments with Mom that everybody wishes that they had a parent like that they could have. And I had parents like that. I was really blessed. I was blessed beyond measure. Dad would crack you up, and Mom would she just knew what to say, when to say it, and she knew how to reach me. She knew how to get in up here. And let me tell you, sometimes that stuff takes an owner's manual. But she knew what was going on. So, Stace, with that being said, if you want, let's go ahead and let me switch sides here, babe.
Okay.
There we go. And if you want, we'll open it up. Britta Cottle just come through. Always hoping to hear from my mom. So, Rusilla, if you're listening, I'd love to hear from you for Britta.
It was not Lexi.
I also want to do calling out for Aunt Judy too for Candace, and we're looking tonight to hear from Corey for Linda. I know I heard Corey last week.
Yeah. And I pray that Jenny's leg heals.
I feel her.
I feel her. Who do you feel?
Askro Escadran lag eyes. Main good nasty tashes.
Light eyes? Or Alicia something?
Or just tarot light.
That almost sounds like some kind of a foreign language or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I do pray.
I can't help what comes through, guys.
I do pray to the Father that Genevieve's leg heals.
Oh, bless her heart.
Yeah.
I'm sending up prayers for you, Jen. Every night.
And we call out for Jamie for Carrie Bella.
Instrument and on Pizer.
Jamie, if you could come through for Carrie.
Aries Asia Lur.
I put the chat up there on the screen so we don't miss it.
Trevor, Wanda would love to hear from you.
So would I.
What?
Oh,
okay.
Liam. Is Fisketball team.
Mom passed away September 19th, so the next couple of weeks are rough. I'm so sorry, honey.
I knew Rosella. She was class. She was just great.
I wish I could have known her.
Oh, she was.
Can you come through for us?
You theory boy. Grow can't we ma arbst.
Who were you saying that we should fear?
It's Stratifams.
Can you tell me the name?
Peel Hierothite.
If there's anybody that's here with us on our show, they're here in the chat room. If you all have any messages for any of them, could you come through? Your family, your friends. She took a fall.
Italy, Greece. That does sound like a bit of an Italian accent too. Italy, Greece.
Before that is the one that she took a fall. Audrey Hale. Audrey. So it saw someone took a fall.
Adolfinatus. That sounds Italian.
Is there someone here in your family that you want to speak with? I'm sorry, I cannot understand you. Let's see what Angela's saying. My shadow person is back. Can we see if maybe they want to share who they are? Yes. If anybody knows about the situation that's going on with Angela, she's seeing a shadow person. Could you come through with the info and let us know who it is or what they want? John? I have no clue, guys. I something can't breathe.
Yellow on dialect.
Something about a dialect. Did somebody lose maybe a child that couldn't breathe? She's come through 2 or 3 times tonight.
Walks at a slee.
Can you tell me what your name is to the little girl who says she couldn't breathe?
He's full fed.
He's full fed. Straight path. Okay, Kayla.
Sagri weepy mouse hepwell.
Depends on where you're watching, Kim. Where she's not seeing all the comments for some reason. They'll show up on some places they won't. I believe they're showing up great on YouTube. And I can post that link if you want in the chat.
Festa. Hello, Ired E. Nogin. And Helico measure. Serendipsy sip.
YouTube link is in the chat now.
Did expratidas.
She said castles.
Castles.
Something about castles. Or if anybody's in here and wants to move the doll, you can do that again.
I'm waiting on Lloyd.
Hey, I hear the heavy breathing just started on me here.
Of course, he sees Reagan over there. He's going to breathe heavy, yeah.
She's right there.
Aztecs here in Ibla.
Aztec something. That sounds kind of like a child too. Could you speak to me in English?
Unconnick his auntie.
Something's auntie. Sounds like she's trying to tell her how to talk. She said it'll be easier.
The hell?
Jep was I spread follow.
Did you hear that knocking too?
Hell yeah.
I heard that. It sounded like something hit the floor, I thought.
I wear on
about me.
glass.
Okay, Angela.
Heiner D. Stelter.
Do you want to come through and talk to anybody that's here with us?
Yell best Heather.
Heather.
I heard the name
Or
Heather.
Ray, and then I heard something Heather.
Yeah, I heard the name clearly. Yeah.
If anybody recognizes
Carlos Cynthia T.H. Mar. Septon Need Glee.
Cynthia something tomorrow.
I do know a Cynthia that passed.
Agnes Zitsu Yumikov Ninto.
She actually used to watch this show quite often. Once again, reaching out to
Trying if you head die hand.
to Rusilla for Britta, to Corey for Linda, and I'm kind
Acharia
of
Wallika Lordero.
And Corey, can you come back through for me? I think I heard you last week. If you could come back through for me, we would really appreciate it.
Dina Tadaugus Sauce.
And Tina asked if someone called her name last week. Do you remember that?
Man with Nini Into.
Spanish something. Is your name Samantha?
And I'm T. Tony. Osiad Kahatata.
To the little girl, is your name Samantha?
Yes.
Did she say yes?
I told Ben Rofting.
I told Ben something. I don't know.
I don't know if I heard. I thought I heard yes, but I
Could have
like
been yeast or something. It was quick.
A sense of Gino
it
Cipro.
was.
Citrula.
I'm calling out to Jamie for Carrie, Bella, and Trev. Hey, brother, I love you if you're there. Wanda and I both would love to hear from you.
Me too, Trev.
So it's days.
Me too.
And I'm sure even Lloyd would. And Lloyd did.
There ain't nobody can sing hollow notes like you.
Oh, man. He was great.
Nobody. James Paul said, yeah, he heard yes too.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's just Samantha. Aunt Judy, can you come back through for me for Candace? We would love to hear from you, Aunt Judy.
Okay, that almost sounds like a Japanese dialect.
I'm just hearing 2 or 3 different kinds of languages coming through on that one. That is crazy.
Does that not sound like a Japanese
It does.
dialect? Yeah. Even the tone of her voice sounds like she's Asian.
It almost sounds like mashed potatoes.
If they're done right, it's one of my favorite dishes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Candace comes into play now. Candace, good to see you. Madonna's asking about Sherry or Johnny.
You go. Unable something. Unable to. It almost sounded like pregnant. Is your name Diane? She said, this is Di.
Mm-hmm.
That sounded like an Indian accent for India.
Well, it's not surprising you got a world full of people. I would assume that when they cross over, they take that with them too. I mean, that they would understand that they would speak in the same language they did in life.
Yeah.
I would think.
This is the same thing that happened to me last time I told you about this with the kids and everything.
Yes, I remember that.
It's
Mary's asking if Jake could send her a message. Please let her hear something.
something. You know, I was talking about the brick there.
Yeah.
This is the same thing that happened that night, and then they told me their name straight out. Did she say Ella? There was a little girl. Guarantee it'll be a little girl, a little boy.
Okay, that does not. That almost sounds like Deutsch, like almost like a German dialect. That doesn't.
I thought it said both are nudist.
Oh, Lord.
Lloyd really needs to get Reagan off the brain.
They just said smack him. So,
Yeah. Good. Beat him like a borrowed mule.
I wouldn't want to hear him bitch. She said you smelled, Lloyd.
Every day.
Mm.
She said your shit smells. Barry. Chris heard that too.
Mm-hmm.
Sardines. I feel asleep in her.
Jessica asked if Brittany could come through for her, and she said that she loves and misses you. Jessica Atkins.
Got it. I see it now.
Mm-hmm.
Brittany, if you could come through for your mom, she's here for you. Jessica's here. Can you come through for her? Jason.
That's her. Yeah, I heard Jason.
Mm-hmm. Let me write that down for Jessica.
Yeah.
Josie. Does anybody else want to come through for anybody that's here with us?
Well.
Can you come through for us? To the little girl. Was your name Samantha? We'd love to hear from you. Something in the car. Aunt Judy Candace would love to hear from you. She's been thinking about you a lot.
Alan is revisiting. Sekut sing kind.
Same kind.
What the hell?
I love your comebacks. Oh, everything. So keep your ass fed. Dory, something. Hell. Well, he had a lot to say. I sound like I said Bridget.
Oddnate Wednesday, Jetta at a doll.
Something about a doll.
I think Candace is right. A translator actually might be a bad idea.
Hey, Chris, you remember that one time when you...
At band camp?
Yeah.
Let's not talk about the flute.
Boop.
Anyway, about that one time that you translated, or you turned
it backwards and it came across and
forwards
said
or something, and
she
Yeah.
had an animal sanctuary in her backyard.
Yeah.
Chris played it once backwards, and guys, it came out with it was crazy.
Yeah, I do remember that. I sure do.
Yeah.
And it was several instances that happened in.
That was crazy.
Not all of them, but several of them. You could reverse the audio on it, and it would. Yeah.
That was crazy. I remember that.
It was definitely something different. Yeah.
And it was plain as day.
Slicker than a jar of Vaseline.
I know where you're going with this, so shut up.
He's thinking about Reagan again.
That's what it is.
No.
Well, you want to come over here and sit beside her, and then
No.
we'll put the
I'm good.
K2s on her and sit
Okay.
around and talk with you. You want to?
She can stay over there in the corner where she belongs.
She's in your corner, Lloyd.
She's watching you.
Yeah, he does got Reagan on the mind. Yeah.
She's not far. You need to go over and pick her up. Everybody wants to see you do it.
Everybody does not. Yeah, I've got her in my mind to put her somewhere else, like the can outside.
That's a different box, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't had this one on in probably 6 months or so. We may go through 2 or 3 or 4 for what we're doing. We're going to try them all. Shane? Do you have a message for somebody?
You all crazy.
You reading the comments? Samantha, if you're still there, could you come through for me? Angela would love to hear from you. She said she didn't get to meet you, but your mommy loves you. I'm trying to see. Something that says, tell her this is her aunt, please. I left before I could show you. Something about our relationship. Guys, this one's staticky, but it's good.
It is.
It may be worth it. To the aunt, who was your message for? Can you tell me? Can you come through and tell me? I could have sworn it said for Candy at the first of it. We'll see if we can keep it going.
Ask her if her name is Christy, please.
Is your name Christy?
No.
Whoa.
That's
Oh,
the
that was
one that used to come through all the time on us. Whenever we would be talking, he says no every time.
very deep, resonating voice. Oh, yeah. I remember him.
Judy, if it's you, she wants you to know that she's here for you always. Always.
Ask if her name's Christy.
He said, coach. He was a coach. Do you have a message for... Yes, talk through the box. Yes. If you have any messages for your family or friends, you can let them know they're right here with us. Okay. Gotcha, Candace.
Johnny was a coach.
Were you a coach around here? Here in Kentucky? I heard that too, Kim. I've heard that twice tonight, as a matter of
Yeah.
fact, about the Bridget. I'm here, and there was another name I couldn't make it out. That little girl said, "I'm here." His name was Ben. I've heard that twice.
Candace said that she'd like a one-on-one with you one day.
Got her. Just drop me a message anytime.
And Johnny, your sister from another mister misses you.
Yes.
You okay?
Oh, not.
Quit being a punta, Lloyd.
Is Pat trying to send his wife, Bridget, a message? Is that said he came through? Who came through? Can you tell me that? If you guys can stand back from the box and just take time, everybody can get in and everybody can hear you all. I know everybody has. Yes, I know everybody has a lot to say. Prayed. I saw. What did you see? He's trying to sound like he was trying to coax her to say something, and she said, "I'm trying." She said, "I'm something to my mom. Love you." Can you tell me your mama's name? He said, "This is amazing." I told you. Did you bring him to talk to us in our box? Thank you. Do you have a message for somebody? Maybe something that somebody's been asking at home to hear? Meet me. I'll meet you. Something, meet me. Something, I'm going to meet him. If you can come through for anybody that's in your family or friends here with us. Annette. Does anybody else want to come through this spirit box before I shut it down? I'm hearing music starting to come through it too. Aunt Judy, is Grandma with you? And then Pat, Bridget is coming to the house this weekend. Is there anything that you want her to tell her? If you all can talk one at a time, then we can hear you easier.
Mhm.
He said, yeah, they always talk. Dan?
Dad? I thought I said dad.
Dad or Dan? Something cat. Yes, I can hear you. What is it that you want to say? Can you come through and tell me?
Okay.
The baby, something, and then another voice came over top of her.
I thought I heard dad too. Yeah.
Do you have a message for Dad? Tell him it's me. Tell him it's me. It's a guy. It's a boy and a girl.
Boy and a girl.
She's saying it, and then he said it too. Tell him it's me, and it's me.
I know Summer calls me that, but
Can I give them a name? What's your name? Annette and John, and then it said Michael or Nanette.
well, it's hard to get it right all the time. I mean, you practically can't. They come through so fast and they just zip. I don't understand half of what comes through.
Did anybody else come through for me?
Talk to me about Lloyd's Marvel shoes.
It'd be hilarious if she said they stink. What do you got on?
My Marvel shoes.
Oh my God.
Hell,
No, I'm not.
Is that it is Marvel. Awesome.
Good call.
Friday.
But I don't like those shoes.
nobody else does either. What is the deal?
Yep, I get it, Tina. I sure do.
Until they can solve that issue with latency, which I don't know that they ever will. But
It sounded like it said Tina and then Wheeler. Do you have a message for Tina? How about Mama Donna? Does anybody have a message for her? Awesome. Yep, she is. I agree.
Mary Ray had a pretty good question there.
Can the spirits please tell me where Jake's prayer class missing since he left the hospital? I'm hearing whispering. I'm trying to make it out right here. Hang on one second.
Sure.
Do you hear that real loud whispering?
Yeah.
It says, tell her something, something. Can the spirits tell us where Jake's prayer cloth is? Mary would love to know. Sound like she said inside of the dryer. Can you say your name again? Matthew Heath, if you're out there, Kayla would love to hear from you. Could you come through for her? If anybody recognizes any of these voices or anything, let me know because these are new. I haven't heard these before. If anybody wants to come through for anybody that I've got here with me tonight, now's the time to do it. Someone said, "Hey, baby, I'm here." Can you tell me your name? House, it said before, inside the dryer. Gotcha. I see or something. I don't know. Does anybody else want to come through?
I'll try again for Corey, for Linda.
Corey, can you come through for me? Sound like the male said, "I'm hoping that." It said something about my heart. My heart almost sounded like it said. I don't even want to say it.
Personal message it to me.
Use a voice. Can you tell me what your name is? Do you have a message for anybody that's with me? Corey, your mom said she would love to know that you're okay. Can you help me give her a message? Did that just say I'm okay? Yes. Thank you for whoever came through and said that. You want to see the tarot? They're right here. Right here. Anybody recognizes that voice, let me know. I know sometimes people ask questions at home and sometimes this comes through. It could be for them.
Could be.
I'm going. The guy's trying to talk and then somebody talked over him, it sounds like.
Kim said that she heard it's all good, I'm okay. And I'm assuming you're talking to Linda.
Oh, yeah, I believe so. I believe so, too. Patrick, please tell me something to tell Bridget for this weekend. She is so heartbroken. Patrick, can you tell Madonna something to tell Bridget? This one's wanting me to read tarot. She keeps saying, go ahead and read. Patrick, can you come through and tell us? Something said it was the gas lady. Tell my mom I love her so much. Did you hear that?
Yep.
Tell mom I love her so much.
Yep.
Very soft male voice.
Very quiet.
Very soft, very quiet.
Yeah.
Linda says, I think that could have been from Corey. He passed from a heart attack. Oh my gosh. Corey, did you come through for your mom?
He did.
Was that you? Said something in my baby. Tell her you love her and your baby. She's here with me. Is there anything else you want me to tell her?
Yes.
Hunter, if you're here. Linda, what it said earlier, it said my heart gave out. And it just broke my heart to say it. I'm sorry. Trevor, can you come through for Wanda? I'm sorry, Linda, but I'm so glad that we were able to do that for you. So that he is okay.
He came through when you needed him most, honey. That makes it worthwhile.
I miss you something, and thank you for putting my hair up. You're very welcome. Does anybody else want to come through for any loved ones here with us? Angie said she would love to hear from Kevin. Just a little male voice said, it's me. Right as I was asking that last question. So I'm not sure who it's for. Could you come through and tell me your name? Mark. Don't be afraid.
Wanda asked if Trevor is okay and if he's happy, which I can answer those for you. He is.
Trevor, could you come through for Wanda?
He is okay and he's happy.
And Chris, we'd all love to hear from you.
Hit me with that guitar, man.
If you could use your voice, that would be wonderful. I heard something, bro, and a repeat. You can smell her perfume. If anybody's out there that can smell their loved one's perfume.
I smell Mom's on occasion.
Jeff, Kim loves you. And it was your 50th birthday 3 days ago. Happy birthday in heaven. One would be, and that one said, stay hopeful. And Bill Thompson, if you could come through. Brandon and Crystal would love to hear from you. Could you come through for them? It sounded like it said, this is Bill.
Rhonda said that she was with her cousin Greg recently as he passed. Unresponsive, and she hopes that he knew she was with him.
He knew.
Yeah.
Greg, could you come through for Rhonda?
And me
let
too.
her know that you knew she was with you.
I miss him too. Every day.
Something on the 1st of May. Trev, could you come through? Hi, baby. Does anybody else want to come through before I close down the spirit boxes? Hi. Who was the little girl that said hi? Bill, if you're still there, just know that they love and they miss you so much. Are you still with us? Bill, can you come back through? There's a deep voice.
Yep. Brandon and Crystal said that sounded like him, first time ever. I love and miss you so much, Dad.
Yeah, I won't forget that voice.
No. Kim said she heard happy and beautiful.
Bill, thank you for coming through. That really means so much for all of you that came through tonight.
Yeah.
I love her, and everything's fine. Did you all hear the same thing I did?
I missed that, but
I love him.
yeah, I heard that.
keep their sanity.
It's hard to do sometimes.
Uh-huh. I want to thank everybody for coming through for us tonight.
Yeah.
Your loved ones love you so much. I'm going to turn it down and then I'll turn it off.
Yeah.
I'll keep it kind of low that way I can hear in case it says anything else, guys. I always listen to it after the show just in case it says anybody else's names. And I will message you if it does.
You know, speaking theologically, we are told to mourn at birth and rejoice at death, because to be absent from the body is to be present with God. But let me tell you, as a human being, that's a tough pill to swallow. And those memory cells, those are tough sons of bitches to kill. And there's a reason for that. Let me put it to you about perspective. I learned a long time ago, perspective is a big part of life. It's huge. Depends on how you look at things. If it didn't hurt so much, it wouldn't have been real. Now, that pain is a reminder, and I know you're thinking sometimes I just like to see it go away. But it's also a reminder of love, that love was real. And it is still real. Otherwise, you wouldn't miss them so much. There's not a day that doesn't go by I don't miss Mom, Dad, Ollie, Trev. Not a day goes by I don't think of Angel Butcher, Jimmy Davis. It's real. That means that the feelings you have for them are real, and the feelings they have for you are real. And that is something that you do take with you. It's something that never dies. And you got to have faith, because if you don't, you'll lose your friggin' mind. Have faith in God. It's like Ralph Jenna earlier said, he's the only answer to this. He's the answer. And you know, Jesus told us years ago that in this world, there will still be broken bones and broken hearts, whether you follow him or not. Now, I choose to follow him, because he also made us another promise that once this life is over and you're back together with the people you love, Jenna, you're back with Ralph. Kayla, you're back with your family. Kim, you're back with him. Stace, you're with the people that you love and you miss. I'm with Mom, Dad, Trev, Ollie. I want you to think about this for a minute. You will never have to part from them again. There'll be no more death. That is a great big pill to swallow, but it goes down pretty easy if you've got faith. And I do. I don't believe that. I know it. So I understand, because I feel the same thing that you do. And you're right. Somebody had said earlier in the chat room, all of us missing our loved ones. Yeah. Yeah. And it goes on every day. You know, it's one of those things where you kind of get jumbled up in your mind every morning, and you get this anxiety and you get this depression and you get so much crap going on in your life, and you think you're going to friggin' lose it. But all you got to do is remember one thing. You've got one task. One. Follow him. Follow Christ. Everything else will work out. That's the one thing you got to do. You follow him and everything else works out. Don't take my word for it. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to try it and see for yourself, if you've not already done it. And I'm telling you, it will come together. Stace, all I can say is wonderful job tonight, baby.
Thank you.
You are gifted. And what you do with your gifts, and you're helping these people find peace. You're helping these people find hope. You're helping these people find love again. You know, there's sometimes if I could unzip myself and step out and be anybody, it'd be you. Thank you.
Always.
Love you guys. Have a good night. And we hope to see you back here next Wednesday, good Lord willing, and the creek doesn't rise. And, you know, if Lloyd decides to have the wedding ceremony between him and Reagan between now and then, we will let you know. But I don't know that won't happen until probably sometime around Thanksgiving, because he seems that he's got so much to be thankful for with Reagan.
Well, I'm just before we go, I think I should get her out and put her over here real quick. No.
This is going to be good.
Come on.
You know she wants to say hello. Come on, little girl.
Y'all kill me.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
Look at them. Don't they just meet each other? Watch her wave at him and try to hug him.
No.
Dada.
Get over there.
Well, he is to be referred to as Big Daddy from now on. So
there you go.
Now, what's going to be really funny here is if she falls over on him.
Stop. Come on.
At that point, y'all have my permission to laugh until you piss a river. Knock yourself out. So
I'm going over here. Thanks, bye.
I'm letting it go with that. Guys, we love y'all.
Love you guys.
Yeah. Excuse me. I hope that you have a great weekend, and we will see you back here next Wednesday, we hope. And I'll try to actually post something on Facebook to remind you guys that it'll be here. And thanks again to our new Patreon member. And I want to make sure that I got that right once again. Why would you choose? I don't care about Food City. Okay, but once again, Paul Butcher, thanks a lot for becoming our newest Patreon family member. And your name's going to be all up in lights next week. Promise you that. So, guys, you have a good evening. Stace, Lloyd, love you guys. Have a great evening. And remember, as always, keep your faith in God, keep looking to the stars, and always stay mysterious.